Hi everyone, and welcome to this month's Do You Know show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. This month we have another jam-packed show all lined up for you. On this month's show, we're going to head over to City Cleanup Day. It happened over at Baker Field and Taunton Stadium. Jamin had a chance to talk with Mayor Yanish and also Jenna from Lakeland Broadcasting. Then we're going to head over to Robbins Island at the Flags of Honor and check out the remembrance they had for the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Then we had a chance to talk with Dick Clayton out at Sibley State Park. It was Sibley State Park's Outreach Day. We're going to show you some highlights from that. Then a couple months ago, we talked to the gals for the Time for Tea, Time for Women event. Well, now we have some video to show you on what was going on during that event. And then Jody will be here from the Early Childhood Initiative and the Early Childhood Family Programs and talk about a few things that are coming up in November. And then we're going to head over to the Glacial Ridge Winery and check out the concert series. We're going to hear a tune from the Great Wolf Bluegrass Band. And then Susan and Bev are going to be talking Little Master Gardening from the residents of Joe and Roger Home. We're going to be talking about irises, we're going to be talking about pumpkins, and we're going to be talking about asparagus. And it is all right here on this month's Do You Know?
You're watching the Do You Know show, and we are surrounded by people and cars and vehicles filled with things like refrigerators and fans and light bulbs. They are all a part of going green. We all want to recycle and reuse and put things in places that are not landfills. So we want to encourage everybody to be a part of it. Gina from Lakeland Broadcasting and her friend Mayor Yanish are going to talk to us a little bit more about what they're doing today. Gina, tell us about this really cool event and all the things that are going on.
Well, today we're recycling a lot of appliances and household stuff that for free. There are some charges today. However, if you didn't make it here today, you can do this, a lot of it for free any time of the week. Like Northern Metal Recycling will take like lawnmowers, for example. As long as you have the oil and gas out of there, they'll take that for free any time of the day. You know, Surplus Warehouse, there are some charges Monday through Friday, but you can recycle that also.
So tell us, how did this project, Going Green, this particular day happen?
Well, we actually found out that the city was talking about doing a cleanup, and we were talking about doing a cleanup, so we approached them and said, hey, can we team up and make this a joint effort? And that's what we did.
So Lakeland Broadcasting said, hey, the city's going to do this project. Let's work with them. So Mayor, tell us a little bit more about the project and what you see going on here today. It seems like you got a lot of people coming out.
Well, what I see going on here today is terrific. I didn't realize there was so much of these things in people's backyards, garages, or wherever, basements or wherever. But anyway, as you can see, we still have a lineup of cars. We are actually today taking materials until 1 o'clock. But I think it's going to be a little bit past that, according to what the lineup of cars is. But Gina's been just wonderful to work with, and I have to add that.
So Lakeland Broadcasting, our friend Gina, and the city and lots of other people and volunteers have put this event together so that people can bring all their recycled stuff, and it can come and go on trucks, and it can go other places to be taken care of.
Absolutely. It'll be recycled, reused, melted down, whatever. But this is the time and the place to bring it in, because I don't know that, I want to speak properly about this, but I don't know that they can get the things returned for the same prices that we're returning them for.
Well, we're going to turn to Gina right now, and we're going to ask her a little bit more about this event. People have brought everything from these kind of light bulbs to what?
Oh, weed whackers. I mean, it's some crazy stuff. One lady was waiting in line for over 40 minutes to do a couple brooms. And so it's been interesting and it's been fun. People have been so awesome with their waiting in line. It's about 55 minutes, but you know, it is a little frustrating. But last time it was about 2 hours. So we've really moved this along and it's been good. And I thank everybody for being so patient if they did wait in line.
And thanks to our camera crew, you're going to see lines of cars and lots of stuff. We want to thank everybody who's patient and has helped put this together. All the people who have come and waited in line to drop off their stuff. It's not going to go into the landfills. It's going to be properly recycled. Yay, go green. If you're not already recycling, Rec 8 and 18, we want to encourage you to get out there and recycle. Put your cans in the canned goods and your bottles in the bottle goods and get out there and do it. It's not that hard. You're watching the Do You Know Show, and we're concluding this segment on Going Green.
All right, welcome to Sibley State Park. As always, we're here with park naturalist Dick Clayton. And Dick, today is a big day today because it is Outreach Day. There's a lot of activities going on today, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what we have?
Well, yeah, it's an exciting day. Great weather for this. We're having pontoon rides on Lake Andrew all day long. Prairie Woods Environment. That's Let's Go Fishing. It provides the pontoons. Prairie Woods Environmental Learning Center has a 34-foot Voyager canoe they're bringing over. They're going to be having rides throughout the day on Lake Andrew also, so that's a couple of things. Around the Interpretive Center, a new activity. We're showing people some of the new things that are happening in state parks now. We have an archery range set up, and people can come. It's primarily set for kids, but anybody can come who hasn't, shot a bow and arrow before, can shoot some arrows and learn some things about archery. We're having a digital photography program. It's a new thing in state parks where we'll hand out digital cameras and kids can take pictures, and we'll download their favorite picture and print it out for them so they can take it home as a souvenir. Geocaching, and then we're having a live snake demonstration a little bit later on, so should be a fun day.
And that's why I came today early, so I wouldn't have to deal with the snakes and touch them. Even though I'm not afraid of them, they still give me the willies a little bit. A lot of things that go on throughout the year, and like you said, you're doing some new things. Tell us about what we're holding in our hands here too.
We have some kits that people can use for free here. All they have to do is just sign up for them and then hand them back in. Kids Discovery kits, there's 3 of those, and you can check those out at the Interpretive Center. Almost every state park is going to have these now. They're really actually designed for parks that don't have park naturalists, so people can come to the park and learn some things also. I'm holding a birding kit here. It's got binoculars, bird books, a bird checklist and stuff in. You can check these out also. Another thing that we're doing is a lot of state parks now have free fishing equipment and tackle. and you can come in and loan that out also, and then bring it back. So a lot of new things happening in state parks. Really pretty exciting to be working in state parks right now.
Yeah, it's great. And not to forget, too, coming up this month, there is a fall colors walk. It's always good to get on the trails and see that. And I don't think it's too early to start talking about things that we have in the winter, too. You have the winter bird feeding. You also will be having snowshoeing, and you'll be having the skiing, too.
Yeah, right. In October, first week in October, we're going to be having a fall colors walk, and we'll just talk with people about how the fall colors occur. And then we'll identify some of the shrubs and vines and things that are producing fall color. It's always a fun thing to do. That's going to be one of the highlights next to the outreach day. But yeah, coming in winter, here it's going to be 80-some degrees. We're talking about winter, but we do snowshoeing almost every weekend. A lot of different things going on. Yeah, a lot of things going on this winter to also be doing snowshoeing almost every Saturday. We'll be doing cross-country ski lessons, doing some indoor programs with kids, digital photography probably. So yeah, something always going on here. It seems like almost every weekend, and that's the whole point of it: get people out into the outdoors in a beautiful park like Sibley.
Yeah, and I think that this time of the year, the fall, is a beautiful time to get out. Weather's perfect, especially when we get this Indian summer that we got going on right now. And again, this winter, a lot of activities going on. Great things for the family. It's all right here at Sibley State Park. You're watching Do You Know?
Hi, this is Jody Wambeck with the Wilmer Early Childhood Family Programs and Wilmer Early Childhood Initiative. Today I want to talk to you about a few things coming up in the month of November. The first is our third WOW event, and WOW, remember, stands for World of Wonder. The YMCA will be hosting the next WOW event on Tuesday, November 15th, and it's going to focus on fine and gross motor skill development. So be looking for more information on that on our WCER website or the YMCA website, or even on Channel 18 bulletin board that will have information coming out soon. The second thing I want to talk to you today about is our website, www.candykidsready.com. That is a great resource for parents and providers to find out what's going on in your communities, focusing on early childhood and for families. Library stuff is on there, and ECFE stuff is on there, and other things happening in our community. So be sure to check that out. And the third thing I want to talk to you today about is early childhood screening. If you have a 3.5 to 4-year-old who has not gone through early childhood screening, please be sure to contact Wilmer Community Ed and Rec at 231-8490. And to check out the schedule, go to the Channel 18 bulletin board, and they will have that on there. But just as a reminder, that is a quick screener that is required before children enter kindergarten. So I encourage you all to go and have your children screened if you haven't done that yet. You are watching Do You Know?
This is Bev Davis and Susan Matson, and we're at the home of our friends Roger and Joe Holm again. We were here last year, and we had some different topics then. This time we're going to talk about iris, asparagus, and pumpkins. Hi, Joe.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Roger?
Hi, greetings.
You two have been master gardeners for a very long time, and
Coming up on 30 years.
wow. You're only 35. How does that happen, lady? All right, Roger, you're in charge of the manual labor for this particular project, okay?
I'm going to dig up these iris now.
Okay, and the reason we're going to do this is because we get a lot of questions about how you treat perennials in the fall. So Joe's going to give us a little bit of a play-by-play on these iris here.
Well, if he doesn't chop them all to death, we'll be all right here. Just lift it up. Lift it up, and I'll help you here.
All right, she's lifting it out of the ground. So it comes out in a big clump.
In a very big clump. And what you want to do is you want to break it up, and you can get really nice and dirty doing this. And you want to get it down.
You're brutal.
I know, that's what you have to be. And then you want to trim them. And I usually always use a V. Whoops. Get off this old one here. And do the V type thing. This, and then take off the dead branches.
Now, a lot of people, Joe, they're afraid to throw away something that might not look so good. You know, an icky part or where a borer has gotten in or something. What do you recommend?
Throw it away.
All right. That's the answer I was looking for.
And then you want to trim your roots so you don't have a lot. They'll be all that way. Okay, now it looks like a little foot, right?
Right.
Now you've got good, healthy stuff here. You could even go back one more cut there. So you've got a nice, trim it healthy like that.
Okay. So if you were going to replant those then, what would you do? Like, how about if we just lay them on the table here and show people how we would do that?
Well, I'll try, but I got to get them all clipped here first. I'll just do it quickly. Hopefully.
So now you threw one away on the ground. Does that mean that's not a good one?
Well, let's see. How big is it?
Oh, it's that little one right down
Oh, I wouldn't keep that one. Actually, if I were doing my irises, I would keep them at this size.
Okay.
Because those will be ready to bloom at maybe the first year and after that. But if you get them too small, you're going to be waiting 2 or 3 years to get them to bloom.
Okay, so if you're going to put them back in the ground now, and obviously we're dependent on the weather when we can do this, but fall's a great time to do it. When's the optimal time to do it?
They say before September 15th. That's kind of the university's recommendation. But we're having such a beautiful fall, and as one of our master gardeners said, that the irises are pretty forgiving. You can plant them most any time. And so what you want to do when you plant them is you want to plant them at approximately the same depth as you dug them up, but don't let the corm, they tend to want to come up and be above ground, but keep that covered the first year or so.
And the corm, of course, is just this top part here, but you want some of that sticking out eventually.
Eventually it'll do its, Mother Nature will take care of it. So when you plant them down, you want to do a new one, you want to put them in a circle, and they look like they have little heels on them.
Okay.
Put those in, because everything that's going to grow and will grow out this way. If you turn them this way, you're going to have everything growing in.
So really they should be almost in a semicircle then.
That's right. That's how I try to do mine.
And then how many in a group would you recommend, Joe?
Well, I like 4 or 5 at least, a minimum. I have some new ones I put in over here, and some of those are not that many in there.
Do you think they're going to flower right away again next year, or do they need to wait?
This one may flower because of the size of it.
Okay.
This one I would say no.
Okay.
I have a question too. There's a lot of varieties of iris now. There's a Siberian and there's some other smaller varieties. Do you handle them the same way when you need to divide them? And then for those people who don't know, what is the point where you need to divide?
Well, they get to look pretty crowded. You can tell that. And actually, you know, every 3 years is not a bad deal to do them. And you'll get optimum bloom that way.
And they kind of push up out of the ground too when they get really thick in there.
They do.
Big mass usually of bulbs.
It's a big mass of stuff. And but no, those that's kind of it. And you can do a lot of dividing now this time of the year. So you can do you can do daylilies yet.
And some, like you said, are more hardy than others, like daylilies. The peony should be done in the fall. Also, hostas, things like that. They're pretty sturdy.
Hostas, you can, as the one lady who told me that has a wonderful place, she said you can do them as long as you can get your shovel in the ground. And I one year had a pot up at the lake, and I didn't even do anything. It was plastic, set it there, got up in the spring. It stood out there and no cover, no nothing, and it was a hostas. And it's very unforgiving.
Okay, very good. Well, we've learned something about iris. Okay. Okay. And we're going to learn more about asparagus next, and we're going to move on to pumpkins on Do You Know? Now we're going to talk to Roger a little bit about asparagus. Roger, I got a lot of questions this year through the Master Gardener program about asparagus. When's the best time to plant? And, you know, for instance, in the fall, it looks like this. And my first question is, should we be cutting this down or letting it go?
Let it go. We don't cut it down till spring. In fact, by spring, it'll be pretty much most will be dead. So some will be just falling over. And I just trim the rest down right to the ground, you know. And then I give them a good shot of fertilizer. I give them 10-10-10 in the spring, and then I'll put a little mulch on them, a little compost. And you see, this is only about a 20-foot bed. It's about 8 years old, and we pick about 2 pounds a day. Oh, wow. They're nice, big, thick Jersey giants, you know. Mm-hmm.
Okay. When's the best time to plant asparagus?
Well, you want to plant them so they get growing the first year. I'd plant them in the spring. I'd buy a bunch of plants, and well, how you plant asparagus, you dig a trench about 1 foot deep, okay, and then you mount it up a little. Well, so you take the plant and you put on a little pile of dirt and spread the roots around, and then put in just enough dirt to cover everything a little bit, and then as it grows, you keep filling it in all summer, and until fall it'll be all filled in, and that'll be the first year, and then you only get small ones the second year. The third year, then you should be start picking them.
Okay, so you really shouldn't be harvesting at all until about the third year.
About the third year, if you want to get good, if you want to develop a good bed, you wait till the third year. Then now the root system is so strong, and they'll send up these good, thick, nice, beautiful asparagus.
Okay, and then what kind of fertilization program do you use throughout the season?
Well, then I don't fertilize again until fall now, or till not fall really, but after we quit picking, then I give it a good shot of 10-10-10 again. Mm-hmm. Keep the weeds out. That's the biggest problem, to keep the weeds out.
Well, it's kind of some nice winter interest too when these are left up. Birds kind of like it.
Catches a lot of snow.
Right, absolutely.
I like it. Of course, we love asparagus in any form, so it's a good crop for us.
Very good. Well, now we know a little bit more about asparagus, and now we're going to talk about pumpkins. And now we're going to talk about some very unique parts of the Roger and Joe home garden, and Susan's going to ask some questions about these special pumpkins.
And we are standing here on a beautiful afternoon roasting before the building. But Joe and Roger have grown some special pumpkins. They have a grandson who is blind, and he needs to have something to use his sense of touch. And so she has grown this special type, and she'll tell you a little bit more about it.
These are called goosebump pumpkins. And I'm kiddingly, as I was setting them up here, I said maybe Noah will think it's Braille, so he'll be filling it, trying to figure out what he's reading or something. But anyhow, each year for the last several years, I've tried to give him something out of our garden that he can have a sense of feel or smell. And I gave him lamb's ear so he could feel of that plant. This year, the spring, I bought him what they call the popcorn plant, and if you haven't had it, it's just an annual. You grow it in a big pot, because the last year mine got to 5 feet tall last year. And if you rub the leaves on it, it smells like buttered popcorn, and the little yellow blossoms look like popcorn. So this fall, I decided, or the spring, to raise him some pumpkins. And so we got the goosebump ones, and this is what we have. And so I'll be taking them up to him on October 7th, which is Grandparents' Day at his school. So it should be fun.
Can you imagine what kinds of jack-o'-lanterns you could make out of these? With all those little bumps on them? You could have some pretty cute ones.
Very artistic, and last year he did some awesome carving of pumpkins, and it's unbelievable what he does. So. And no stencils.
No stencils, all right. Well, thank you very much. I can't wait to see. If you decide to carve one, I'd be interested in seeing what it would look like.
And the season's definitely upon us for that. Well, thank you for watching this segment of the Do You Know Show with Susan and myself. Thank you to Roger and Joe for hosting us again this year. Can't wait to come back next year and see what other new thing you've tried for your grandson. We love it here. And of course, they're famous for their upside down tree in the front yard in Atwater. Remember to check out all kinds of great gardening information through the Master Gardener program at extension.umn.edu. And if you're interested in becoming a Master Gardener, there's information there too as well. Again, extension.umn.edu. For the Master Gardener program and Susan and myself, Bev Davis, you've been watching Do You Know?
All right, that wraps it up for this month's show. As always, thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, or show segment ideas, please give us a call here at the studio at 231-0594. Next month, more of the same, out and about in the community, checking out what is going on. You're watching the Do You Know Show. Until next month, we'll see you around town.